Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mentor Talks. I hope all of you are doing absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nitish Topo and I'll be your moderator for this particular session. And ladies and gentlemen, today, if you are thinking, if you're building your startup, if you're working on your startup, and if you are thinking about you are going to build your startup, then there are a lot of things that you need to keep in mind, especially if you're at the early age of your startup. And if you're building your product, you'd like to position your product in the market, and you are looking forward to build your startup, you have ideas, you'd like to implement your ideas. So what are the things that you should be keeping in your mind, and how you'll be proceeding in your startup? So for all these aspects, to give you the best possible insight regarding startup, ladies and gentlemen, today we are having the esteemed presence of Mr. Balaji Pattabhiraman. Mr. Balaji is going to cover all the startup aspect for you, especially if you're building your product, how you can position your product into the market, and how you're going to succeed in terms of your startup, how you should be approaching the startup, I can say the product positioning. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cover that aspect. And now, to give you more insight, to give you a detail about and to introduce you with Mr. Balaji, I'd like to request Mr. Balaji to kindly give his introduction with all the mentees who are there on MentorCut platform, so that our mentees can know him in a better way. So, Mr. Balaji, please introduce yourself with all our community, and people are, I believe that people are excited to know about you. Over to you.
Thanks, Nitish. Good afternoon to MentorCard and the MentorCard platform and the mentees. It's a great opportunity for sharing whatever little that I've covered in my 27 years. So I'll give a brief introduction, not to boast myself. Marketing, sales, and business development has been my passionate area. So this is my 27th year. Technically, it is my 27th year. You can split it into two parts, 2 decades in the corporate world, predominantly with first 5 years in financial services and the next 16 years on education training brands, companies like NIIT, SSI, things like that. The last 7 years has been very exciting. Post my MBA in international business, I did it in New Zealand. I was there for 3-4 years. Has been on teaching. That's become my second passion now, teaching. Though I'm already a sales trainer, teaching when I say academic subjects, going to a B school, MBA subjects, but around marketing, sales, advertising, branding, all the subjects of marketing and international business, because that's a chosen niche. And in terms of qualification, apart from this MBA, I'm a chartered marketer. There is something called Chartered Institute of Marketing, which is the congregation of marketing minds of the world. There is about almost 75,000 members across the globe. And there is a specific status over a period of time when you are in that passionate area. You are called a chartered marketer, like a specified designation. I have achieved that also. It shows that I'm passionate about that area. So that is what I do. I consult. I am a certified business coach. There's an organization called Quantum in UK under whom I got certified. So I offer this consulting, one on generic marketing, sales, business development. The other one is if you are a startup or a small business, I help you grow. In IT parlance, this is called growth hacking. I have an app. So typically, I want 10,000 downloads of a day. That is stage one of growth hacking. Stage two is these people becoming subscribed members. In YouTube, they say, okay, subscribe my channel. You become subscribed member. Once you become a subscribed member, next level is paid member. Monetize it. So you become a brand and people pay money to buy your product or service. Whether it's knowledge service or product, it can be the same. So that is called growth hacking. I do growth hacking in non-IT, any company. It can be manufacturing, service, whatever. I help them grow. Typically, the parlance is 3x, 5x, 10x growth. So if you're doing 1 lakh, I'll help you do 3 lakhs. If you're doing 3 lakhs, I will do 5x, 10x kind of a growth. That's what I specifically do. Apart from generic marketing interventions, sales and business development interventions, that is what I do. I'm a sales trainer. Because you are into sales, you become sales manager, sales head. Training is part of your core activity. So that is what I do. This is my 27th year, and off late, last 2-3 years, I'm involved. They call it a startup coach and all that, but I don't deviate my core domain. I help them in the sales, marketing, business development area, how to get more customers and how do you position yourself as a brand. It's my passionate area. I think we'll stop here. Anything more than this would be boasting of who you are. There are enough and more thousands of consultants successful who are 10 times bigger and better than me. It is just that I like this area and I continue to work in this area last 27 years. Let's stop there, Nitish. That is enough as introduction.
Yes, yes. I think I think when a person has years of experience, especially 25 plus, you're having 27 years of experience around. And I think it's a very short period of time to explain the kind of things that you have accomplished, the kind of things that you have done. But we truly believe that the kind of experience, the enriching experience that you are having, I'm pretty sure that it is absolutely uh, like important for startups to understand and getting grasp the knowledge that you are having. And I think a lot of startups can get a lot of insights from you in terms of business development, in terms of sales and their marketing aspect. And I think that this is one such platform like MentorCard where they can reach out to you and get a one-on-one guidance as well. And when they get one-on-one guidance, you can guide them personally, like a one-on-one basis, and then you can help them in terms of what exactly they are facing the problems. Like you can exactly help them to solve their problems. So I think this is one such thing that is there. And yes, now talking about the things that we at MentorCard, we believe that the mentorship is something that that can help any individual, whether it's a student, whether it's a professional, whether it's an entrepreneur. It can help any individual. So, Mr. Balaji, my question to you is that what is the importance of mentorship that you believe and you have experienced throughout your corporate career? What is the importance of mentorship?
Okay. See, the importance of mentorship is felt right from the day you start your corporate career. In Sanskrit, they use the word Swayambhu. Nobody is a Swayambhu. Swayambhu means on your own. Nobody can become an overnight success on your own. You can learn the tricks, but whatever little that I've achieved or you're going to achieve tomorrow, Nitish, you're not alone. And the larger the size of the corporate, greater is the involvement of a team, and there is always a requirement. You call him guru, you call him coach, you call him, these are different terminologies, but you always require a mentor. You cannot become a success without their guidelines, either directly. There might be a formal mentorship mentorship program, informally also. That is how I picked up threads, I picked up nuances. It is always part of any growth plan. It is there. Now organizations have realized it. I know very many organizations have structured uh, formal mentorship program. So you move from level A to level B, particularly after 5 years. The first 5 years you're at an entry level. Nowadays, even at the third year, you become a team leader and things like that. There are very many things that you need to learn. You might be a domain expert. I might be a Java programmer, but it's not going to end there, right? Now I have to, how do you identify a team? How do you identify a talent? How do you overcome the challenge of making you part of your team? How do you grow? And the next level growth is if no leadership growth. No, I get promoted as manager, senior manager, general manager. The journey continues. So there is a greater amount of involvement of mentorship, not formally called that way, but you always pick up threads. You always have somebody to as a role model. You just keep someone as role model, and you like them because the way they do it and things. So you get inspired. So there is always a demand. There is always it's an inspiration. Basically, mentorship is what it's. Unless and until you formalize it, it's an inspiration. I follow this person right from your own family, kith and kin, and then extending it to your formal career, the person who hired me, my own boss. There's so many people to play. Answer to your question: mentorship is here to stay. It's been there. It will be. The formats of it is changing. Technology plays a greater role. What we both are doing on a technological platform. The objective to get mentorship has not changed. The inspiration to get mentored, that has not changed. The formats have changed. Zoom has come. Platform like this has come. It has made the access easier, but there is always a demand. No one can claim I am a Swayambhu, I am on my own. Don't believe that. Nobody can be. I've had it's limitless, listless. In my career of this 2.5 decades, I can easily quote about 50 plus. These are names I vividly remember. There are other hundreds who I don't call them as mentor, but they still mentored it. So there is a greater demand, there is a need for it, and now organizations are formalizing it. Now you need a mentor, but there are organizations, they put your buddy program. I'm talking about large multinational organization. After 1 or 2 years, for a next level of career progression, they attach you with this particular mentor who could be your own team leader or some other team leader. It is there and it will be. There is a greater deal of having a mentor. The second aspect is, why do I need a mentor? See, one, we are all human beings. We have our plus, we also have our minuses. But with all this plus and minuses, I strive to excel. I still want to achieve what I want to achieve. I want a person who's like me. I don't want a Superman, because Superman is all fun and fantasy to watch a movie. Because I'm not a Superman. I should be able to relate to another person. Oh, he's like me. If he can achieve, I can also achieve. There should be a method. Let me pick it up from him. That's the fundamental premise of mentoring. I think along your way, you will have enough and more mentors. The mentoring is here to stay. That's my answer.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And that true importance comes that you look up to that person. You look up to the mentor in terms of, because the kind of experience they have been, like they have years of experience. They have been through that life, and you can learn from their experiences. It's okay that if you are trying to figure out from everywhere, but it might take you a lot of time. But a mentor can tell you how to be done, right? Because they have done it in their life, they have experienced that thing. So that is how I believe that the mentorship comes into play, and it helps a lot of people. And especially as today we are going to talk about the startup aspect, the how it is important for startups and all. So I believe that the thing that we have decided to talk about is the art of positioning of a product in a startup, how startups can position their products in different markets, how it can be done. So I think this is a very important thing for a startup to look into, that how they can position their product, because ultimately it is their product or the service that they are offering to the market, to the people. So, and at that particular point of time, it becomes very important for them. So, what do you believe about positioning of a product? Like, what happens when a startup goes into the market and it fails? They are not able to position it in a better way. So, I'm sure in your journey as well, you might have seen a lot of startups are be doing positioning their product in a market, but then sometimes whatever they have planned, whatever they have thought, it doesn't work in that way. So, what is the right kind of approach in terms of positioning a product that should go in the right way?
Okay, the need and importance of positioning is already felt by an entrepreneur, directly, indirectly. But I got your question. So, okay, is there a simplest method framework that I can do? What is this positioning all about? I'm going to cover this in three aspects. Okay, what is this positioning all about in terms of conceptual understanding? The second one is, how do I do it? I'm a startup. I'm not a multinational company with billions of dollars of advertising and marketing budget. I don't have so much money, but I've started my journey. I'm already a startup, running my startup last 1 year, 2 years, whatever. Can I take this framework and fit into my business, my organization? Yeah, it's still possible. The third one is, okay, how do I implement it? Practically, how do I take it to the market in terms of doing it in my day-to-day life, day-to-day business? I'll cover these three aspects. Conceptual part of it. Is there a framework? How do I do it in a simpler manner? Is it applicable to a startup? And if I do it, how do I do it? I'm going to cover in these three aspects. Are you okay with that?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's a very good framework to look into, and we are really excited for.
Okay, let's go to the first part. Okay, what is this positioning all about? Positioning as a concept, it's part of the strategic marketing intervention, comes under marketing and advertising kind of a thing. Normally, this is done by large corporates engaging millions of dollars, if not billions, and branding agencies, marketing agencies. That is a scientific way to do it. That's how it is done. But I don't have that budget. I don't belong there. So shouldn't I do it? That is not how it works, because concept works everywhere. So I can pick up the concept, and whatever minimal level that I could do, I can start the journey. But I reach a critical mass or a particular stature, then I can go out and do it scientifically with the help of these consultants and agencies. There are enough and more branding consultants in the world who will help you do it much more refined manner scientifically, but you don't have to do it today. So what is this positioning? Positioning, basically, before even going into positioning, because people are thrown these terminologies, the first question that might come to a startup entrepreneur, because in in the seminars, networking event, they would have heard these terminologies: USP, positioning. Okay, what are these things? USP is unique selling proposition. When I'm selling a product across all factors, let's assume there are 5 ice cream brands. I'm one of the ice cream brand. I'm going to go and sell this ice cream brand to my targeted customer, which is ideally students and parents. So they're going to ask, okay, all factors equal, per piece is 25 rupees, 50 rupees. Why should I choose you? Is the question. In what way you're different from them? Now that is USP. So I come back and say it is made of complete pure milk, pure cow milk, or we have natural fruits in this, no additives, no sugar. No, that's how you subcategorize the support elements of the brand, saying that this is how I'm different, why you should choose me. That is USP. USP is you are identifying the differential elements in you, and you go ahead and highlight it with the customer. That's USP. Then what is positioning? Positioning is also an effort and activity done by you, but this is what they perceive you as. They perceive Nitish as a very studious guy, very reserved guy, very talkative guy, very timid guy, very joking guy. Based on your projection, they perceive something, or you want them to perceive as a strong personality, as a very fun personality. You project that. It's at the perceived value in the minds of the consumer. This is a fundamental difference. Both activities projected by the company or the brand. One is what you claim you are. The other one is based on your claim. This is what I want them to identify me as. This is a brand image projection in the minds of the consumer. It is basically perception mapping. This is what I want to be identified as. That's a first difference. So how do you do it? You have to cover 4 or 5 aspects of it. First is who you are. When I say who you are as a brand, who are you? What do you stand for? Whom do you serve? What's your ideal target segment? When I say clearly segment, I'll give an example. Let's say you're a car brand. Car comes under automobiles. Now within cars, I can further segment it and create 4 categories with brand names. Let's say Toyota Tercel or Subaru comes under economy or fuel efficiency. Mercedes-Benz, luxury. Volvo or BMW, performance. Volvo, safety. All are cars, but clearly based on the requirement, needs and wants and their pressing problems, I subcategorize it. If I am a family man, I am looking at a car which is safety oriented. So while I am in the purchasing, this whole study comes under consumer buying behavior. So I am thinking of buying a car. The whole purpose of the car is for my family. So safety is utmost importance. Of the available brands, will I choose Mercedes-Benz? Will I choose Subaru? Will I choose Volvo? Or will I choose BMW? I will choose Volvo. It's for safety. So it is the process. Positioning is, consumers are bombarded with so much information, so much clutter. I need a clarity, and I want a simple process to understand who you are, what you serve, how differentially you serve, so that I perceive the value. That is positioning. Very, very clearly, that is positioning. The concept actually came into existence 35 years back. There are 2 gentlemen, one Mr. Alrize and Jack Trout. These are the people who, the concept was there earlier also, but formally they launched this, and there was a book on positioning and all that. Easily 3 decades, over and above 3 decades. Mr. Alrize, who is an expert on this, says that it is not enough to launch a product, most innovative product or service in the market, creatively package it, and allow it to be distributed pan India, across South India, across Bangalore, across Delhi. Make it available in all these nook and corner of the city or globally, wherever you want it to be. This is what they thought. A product, innovative, neatly packaged, allow it to be delivered will be a success. That alone is not sufficient. So what is required? You have to communicate the brand elements or the product elements in a simple manner, so that they get the perceived value of why I should buy this product. In the sense, you are helping the consumer in his mental map of purchasing to segment, subsegment, and categorize it. If I want this and this and this, I should go to Subaru, fuel efficiency car. You have to do this. So typically, how do you really do this as a process? How do you do this? It is a scientific process. He says, Mr. Alray says, positioning requires it is going to group the corporate mission, value, ethos. How do you do? What do you do? Why do you do? What do you do? All distilled in a single word. It's not easy. I'm going to come to the stages of it, but it's not easy. This is the process. Take up your brand or your company or whatever that it is, what you want to position as corporate mission. This is what I stand for. This is my product. This is the current challenges faced by my target audience. And this is how differently I deliver. And because of this is the perceived value. All this collectively in one, preferably in one sentence, and later becomes one word. That is positioning. Was it confusing? Was it simple enough?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Understood, right? So the need for positioning is clearly said. This is how you
And
do.
there's one thing I'd like to ask you. Sorry to interrupt you, but you mentioned about this very interesting thing, and I believe that this is very important, which is about the perception mapping. You mentioned that people have different kind of perspectives towards a product. Whether I should go, whether I'm going to buy Mercedes or I'm going to buy Volvo, it is up to that perception that has been created, and because of that perceptions I have in my mind, I'm going to buy that product. So you mentioned about that concept called perception mapping. Could you please elaborate on that? Because this is very important aspect for every startups in terms of developing their product and then positioning it into the market.
Okay, perception in marketing, normally what they say is when you use this word perception mapping, it might give an impression of should we fake it? There is no faking here, right?
Right.
Perception is, I don't explicitly state, I don't explicitly say it, but you perceive it, right? I
Right.
say sugar. When I say sugar, the perceived meaning of it is sweet. I didn't tell you. Nitish, sugar is equal to sweet. I didn't say. I said this is sugar. Automatically, Nitish perceives, oh, sugar is sweet.
True.
And there is no faking. Sugar is sweet. There is no denial on that. In perception mapping, first thing you need to be careful. You can't fake it. There is no concept of faking here. It has to be closer. Now, what if I have 2, 3 attributes? Okay, sugar is white also. Generally, sugar is white also. I'm not talking about traditional sugar. I'm saying refined sugar is white in color. That is also an attribute. No faking. Sugar is sweet. Sugar is also white. Sugar is refined. All the 3 attributes are part of the perception mapping. I just highlight sugar is sweet. Nitish gets it's not only sweet, it is white and it's refined. That's the added benefit of perception mapping. But care should be taken that you cannot represent what you're not are. If you're not that, you don't do that. But if I am that, I can allow you to think that sugar is white and sugar is refined. It's okay because that is true. There is no faking in it. So what do I want to do in perception mapping? Very clearly, the process starts with who you are. Now, I'll give simple example, then you'll be able to connect to it. Let's do this as an exercise. Let's assume you are a lawyer. For the time being, you pose yourself. Nitish is a lawyer. He studied ML wherever it is, and he is practicing in Delhi, in Chennai, wherever it is. Now you are going to a networking event. So everybody exchange cards, and you are saying somebody is asking. There is something called an elevation pitch. So they're asking, okay, Nitish, who are you? Because you have to do a speed networking. You have to meet the 30 guys standing there. So you have to do it quickly. So there is an elevator pitch, 30 seconds. I am a lawyer with specialization so and so. If you have the time, or else you will just say I'm a lawyer. You might say, I handle corporate law. I handle criminal law. That's actually generic, but that's what you can do. You leave a card and then say, this is my website, this is my company. I'm a criminal lawyer, right? Let's take that introduction. I am a criminal lawyer. But under criminal lawyer, there are so many subsects. Are you a criminal lawyer for murder, criminal lawyer for corporate fraud? I don't know. All that comes under crime, but you just said I'm a criminal lawyer. Second example, let's say Mr. Balaji is a printer. Basically, I'm a printer. I have a printing unit. uh, I give cards to you, my visiting card to you, and say, okay, Nitish, I am a printer, and I have, what do I print? I print promotional materials, marketing materials. I don't print a paper or a news publication. I print marketing material. That again is a very generic introduction. Now, can we take this to the next level in terms of perception mapping? How do I really do this? Let's assume for 1 minute you're not a criminal lawyer, you are a divorce lawyer. Now I am going to introduce with perception mapping, USP, and positioning. I'm going to combine all of it and I will break it in parts. So now Nitish is meeting me in the networking event. I'm a printer. He is a lawyer. He is introducing. I'm a lawyer and I help unhappy couple. I'm not using the word I'm a different a lawyer for divorce. You're not saying that. You're saying I'm a lawyer and I help unhappy couples separate within 12 weeks as amicably as possible. I'm repeating for our understanding. I'm a lawyer and I help unhappy couples separate within 12 weeks as amicably as possible. Right? This is a framework as to how you do perception mapping through the positioning formula, but I've given you the statement. Now let's go to the printer, Mr. Balaji. I am saying I am a printer helping small or startup businesses to sell more of their products and services, whatever they do, through my creative promotional material at affordable cost. This might sound a little lengthier, but this is a positioning statement. Between the first one you're saying who you are or what you are. I am a printer. I am a lawyer. That's too generic. There are thousands of lawyers. So why should I consider you? The second one clearly targets I am a lawyer and I help unhappy couple separate. So clearly I'm segmenting. I'm not a lawyer for everybody. I'm not a corporate lawyer. I'm not a criminal lawyer. I'm not a defense lawyer. I'm not a public prosecutor. I am a lawyer who's focusing on divorce case. I don't use the word divorce case. Perception mapping. I have not used the word divorce. But the moment I say Nitish, unhappy couple separate means divorce only. You're following what I'm saying? Are you following?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Unhappy couple separate means divorce. That's the perception. Can I say it explicitly? You can, but that's very generic, right? I am a divorce lawyer. So that is very generic. What do you do specifically to the chosen niche target segment in terms of their problem? So now I'll break this into two parts. The first part is the action word and my introduction. I am Nitish so and so, Balaji so and so, a lawyer who helps. The chosen niche segment is unhappy couple. The first part is an action item. I help them. I support them. I promote them. I do all that. I motivate them, whatever it is. An action item. And whom am I doing it for? A chosen target segment. I'm into legal. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an auditor. I'm not a software engineer. I'm not a chemical engineer. I'm not a broadcaster. I'm not an anchor. I'm not a TV presenter. I'm a lawyer. First segmentation. And within lawyer, I am for unhappy couple divorce. I help. Now second part of the framework is, in an ideal world, what is a pressing problem? Let's take unhappy couple. For whatever reason, they have decided to part their ways. The biggest headache of the divorce is one long drawn process. And because it's long drawn, I've already decided to move out of the relationship. The long drawn process takes a toll emotionally and financially. The longer it is, I have to stay with this person whom I don't have any relationship with, but he was my husband. There are children, custody, alimony, money, property. There's so many questions. Your tone emotionally and financially. I wanted to be quicker and I wanted to be without any fight or emotional beating. I wanted to be amicably solved. Because we both are individuals, we've decided to part our ways. Why can't it be professional, amicable, and sooner? This is the pressing problem. So the framework, first one is who you are, what you do for that particular target segment, and go to the niche. I am a lawyer. For whom? for everybody. No, for unhappy couple. The action word is I help them. What is their pressing problem? Long drawn process, and I am torn emotionally. So I want this process to be short drawn, as quick as possible, as amicably as possible, as professional as possible, and as comfortable as possible. Both of us. He should be comfortable. End of the day, he was my husband. I should be comfortable. I'm the wife. But amicable. The word is amicable. The second part is this. Now let's add another layer to it. This layer is okay. In an ideal world, what do they want from you? They want him to be considerate enough to think about the emotional beating and the financial beating and make it easier, swifter, and amicable as possible. You shouldn't act like a villain. You should understand they both are going through something. Let's do it. Let's do the separation without emotional beating, without emotional hurt and financial hurt. Can we do it professionally? So both of them are happy. The separation becomes easier and smooth. That's what they want. On this premises, what do they want ideally? I will give three examples. That is where the positioning statement in terms of perception mapping comes. So this person who's owner, I think it's Mr. Fred Smith or somebody, FedEx owner, he was in the logistics. I'm going to take some time and give you a bit of story. I hope that's okay, right, for our conceptual understanding.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So this owner, he worked in logistics industry. He said, okay, I'll launch a logistics company, a courier company, whatever you call. But when he was doing it, he was very clear. I don't want another courier company. What they do, a logistics and courier company, they do the transfer of goods from point A to point B. Simple as it. That's what they do. But I don't want to be an all and sundry. I want to be different. And I want to help or support or solve a problem. So when he identified the markets, there was a need for certain documents, certain parcels, certain goods to be delivered tomorrow. So he understood this problem the same way. I help unhappy. I'm repeating so that we can connect to the statement for FedEx. I help unhappy couple separate within 12 weeks as amicably as possible and as professional as possible or as comfortable as possible. Keep this statement in mind. I am choosing to launch a courier company. I will not, end of the day, it is transfer of goods from Delhi to Chennai or Chennai to America. I do that. But how I do it and who I do it for, this is how I'll do it. I will deliver goods that are supposed to be delivered overnight delivery when it's absolutely necessary. Underline the word overnight delivery when it's absolutely necessary. Which means that let's assume Nitish is running a company like Reliance and every day you send 10,000 packets. I will say, Nitish, don't come to me. There are enough and more companies. If you have a mission critical application, you have a drug to be delivered to this hospital tomorrow morning for an operation, or you have a document that has to reach your head office tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, mission critical, come to me. Overnight delivery, if it's absolutely necessary. Second example, Microsoft. It's a PC. Basically, PC now it's all everything. It's a software on a PC. The positioning statement was hardware and software of a computer, PC, to be accessible for everybody in the world. It is a little generic. It was refined to a computer, a PC at everybody's table. Everybody has got a table and there is a PC on the table. It has become a reality now, but in 1980 or 1985, this was not a reality. But that is what I want to serve. Third easiest example, red hot pizza delivered within 30 minutes or refund of money. They are not saying the most tastiest and healthiest pizza. They didn't say that. They said red hot pizza delivered within 30 minutes or else paisa wapas. In all these three positioning statements, two elements. First element, what you are, what do you serve, whom do you serve it for? The second part is what is their pressing problem and what do they want as solution. So first you elevate yourself, whether you're selling ice cream or you're selling computer, laptop, mobile, or anything. Position yourself as a solution provider. Otherwise, you will become a commodity. I will beat you on price. You have a mobile phone company and you're saying, okay, this is the brand, I have this feature, that feature. Nitish, every day one mobile is launched. Okay, let's talk. What is your price? 10,000. Give it to me at 8,000. You become a commodity. So you have to get out of being a commodity. Consider yourself, I am a solution provider. The moment you think a solution provider, what do they want? Okay, foldable mobile phone or unbreakable mobile phone. For youngsters, unbreakable, made of silica, whatever that it is, you throw it, it will not break. It is required. People have problems. Things like that. I'm just giving an example. Foldable. I can fold it and put it inside my pocket. For youngsters. Who wants this? Foldable camera with camera or whatever that it is. You are a solution provider. The moment you say solution, what is their pressing challenge? What is their problem? Apart from being a mobile, I've got everything. I've got camera, I've got everything. But apart from that, how do I position myself as somebody as a solution provider? You want to be a solution, then you should know what is the problem. First step is that. Whom am I? Whom do I serve it? What do I serve? The second part is, can I elevate it? Ideally, what kind of a solution do they want? They want a solution. I have this document. Take FedEx as an example. I have this document. It has to reach tomorrow this university. It's my application. Tomorrow is a deadline. Nitish wants this application to reach Delhi University tomorrow 11 o'clock. Can it be delivered? Overnight delivery when it's absolutely necessary. Clear? Is this clear?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
to do this perception mapping, a couple of questions you need to ask. Actually, whom am I? Or who's this company? Who's this brand? It's for hypothetical case, you are a mobile manufacturing company, then okay. I'm just manufacturing only mobile. Take it one step forward. Mobile manufacturer for whom? Is it for elders? Is it for all and sundry? Is it only for youngsters? Because I've seen youngsters using their index finger or right finger, whatever it is, and they keep constantly, I don't know how they do it, they constantly play chatting with one finger. I don't know how do they do it. And if I know that is the need, Nitish is going to do it, and 4 hours in a day is going to chat with a single finger. Can I have a feather touch, a comfortable touch keyboard on my mobile? I'm just saying. I've chosen Nitish as my target audience, who is a youngster, who's in his 20s, who's all the time on the mobile, tech savvy. And he's struggling because he's chatting with his friends, whatever, or relatives with single finger. And it is strenuous, it's strainful. Can I give him something there? Now you're talking about a solution, not just a mobile manufacturer. And ideally, I now go to him. Perception mapping is, I presume, no, Nitish has this problem. No, go and confirm with Nitish. I've identified, Nitish, what do you really want? Nitish says, yeah, I want that feather touch. It'll be good if there is an emoji with cartoon or cinema characters. I want the screen. Yes, you are right. Can you have it with emoji? Or want something like this? Okay, now next level. I know he wants a feather touch screen, so there is no strain on his finger. At the same time, he wants a fun element in that. Okay, let me add a colored emoticons, which is representing the cartoon character, the Mickey Mouse and this and that. You understand? Now the second part. This is perception mapping. Perception mapping does two things. Who am I? It covers on these. Who are you? Clearly, technically, product wise, whatever. What you offer them, how you offer, what you do, why do you do, how do you do, combined together in a single sentence. And when I compare this with other people, how differentiated are you? All these four questions: who are you? Truthfully, who are you? What you offer them, how you offer them, how differentiated it is, so that it creates a direct value or a perceived value. Let's go back to the sugar example. Balaji and Nitish are buying sugar. Nitish wants it to be white in color. Anything that is refined white, for me, that is sugar. Mr. Balaji wants it to be sweet. I can cater to both of it. Does it mean Mr. Balaji doesn't want it white? No, I never said that. That is a part of perception mapping. I allow you to perceive what I am, what I'm not. But explicitly, certain things I say to promote, that's the identity I want you to create. And where does it go? There are 3 stages of this in terms of positioning. First, you do this process, who you are, truthfully who you are, which is your second nature. What do you do or what you offer to the identified? You have to go segment, subsegment, category, and the niche. I help unhappy couples. I'm not saying I'm a divorce lawyer. Unhappy couple. And what is the pressing problem? Long drawn process, emotionally torn, financially torn. I'll make it as amicably as possible within 12 weeks. Time bound. I want time bound, professional, smooth, and comfortable. I'm giving you both. Overnight delivery when it's absolutely necessary. So a company is giving 10,000 packets. Do they want this? Every day they send 10. No, they don't want this because they are going to beat you on price. I'm going to give you an order. Every day you come and take 10,000 packets. Then I'll beat you on price. It's volume. They don't want mission critical overnight application, overnight delivery. They don't want it. Clearly, it is segmented, subsegmented, categorized. And you give the positioning statement like this: overnight delivery when it's absolutely necessary. A computer at every table. Red hot pizza delivered. First stage is very generic. It's okay to be generic in terms of the words. I help unhappy couples separate amicably within 12 weeks. It's okay to be generic like this. You just break it into 3 parts. I am Nitish. I'm a lawyer with focus on divorce cases. I say that. And I help unhappy couple. I'm clearly defining which is my segment, subsegment within the segment and the category. And what is the problem they're facing? They're facing the problem of divorce already. Emotionally, they're torn. And the long drawn process takes a toll on their emotion and in their financial well being. I will do it in 12 weeks' time as amicably as possible, as comfortable as possible, as professional as possible. That's positioning statement. This is the first stage. The second stage of positioning is now you've got a market. Why do I do this? Because I want to not only differentiate, I want to create my own market. I don't know if it's right to use this word, but anyhow, I'm going to use to monopolize. Monopoly is a wrong term, but it's okay. I want to create my own market. Now, what do I do that? I want longevity. Business is about longevity. I want regular customers buying repeated purchases from me. I want Nitish to buy from me next 10 years. The first step is identifying who you are to break the clutter. I am different. This is how I do it. This is how I solve your problem. So you say red hot pizza delivered within 30 minutes or paisa wapas. So that's the first statement. The second statement, now I've garnered a market. I'm identified. Now I make it snappier with a slogan and a logo. So you put a logo of swoosh and put just do it. What is that brand? A swoosh and just do it is Nike. Or L'Oreal says you're worth it. The moment I say worth it, you connect with the brand. That's the next step, which means that you've already garnered some market share, wallet share, and all that. There's also acoustic branding. I'll give you one sound. I'm not a good singer, but this will help you to understand. When I say ting ting ting, this is the acoustic branding of a brand. Which is that? Can you identify? Ting ting ting.
Yeah, it's Nestle.
No, it's Britannia.
Yeah, Nestle Britannia, obviously.
Britannia is a brand name, but
Britannia is
company
the
name
brand.
is Nestle. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, then you can go to Titan. The I think it's Mozart piece. I don't know, some music composer's piece.
Yeah.
Then the next stage is you make it suave, you make it snappy, you make it identifiable with a logo, with a sound, with an image, with a snappy word. Just do it. It's Nike. You connect. That's the second stage. The third stage is, I'm trying to tell you how positioning helps. The third stage is ultimately for any business, what is the goal? To become a brand. But normally this branding as a concept seems to be too large, too vast, too wide. Make it simpler to me. So in my branding session, I normally say, okay, what is branding? First, identify who you are truthfully. These two statements. Promise to deliver. To identify who you are and genuinely what you can deliver. Promise to deliver. go ahead and deliver the promise. To me, that is branding. And if you consistently do it over a period of time, the day when you become synonymous with a single English word, I'm carefully choosing my words, the day when you become synonymous with that activity, that single English word, that is the ultimate goal. Now I'll substantiate with 3-4 names. I want you to help me. I hope reasonably you like cricket, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when I say Sachin Tendulkar, what comes to your mind?
Cricket.
Simple, right? One word. Sachin equal to cricket. But Sachin is also a restaurateur. He runs a restaurant. He runs a sport management company. He is also a model. He acts in ad films. There's so many dimensions. He's a Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, whatever it is. But Sachin equal to cricket. It took 2 decades or 2.5 decades, 3 decades for him to reach that. He's a god of cricket, but I'm saying choose one word. Sachin equal to cricket. Okay. Second name, A.R. Rahman.
Music, singing.
Simple. Simple. He's a producer now. He runs a music school. He's got so many endorsements. But A.R. Rahman is equal to music. It took 2 decades or 3 decades. The moment you become synonymous with that English word, that's the ultimate goal. Why am I doing all this positioning, all this? To become that. Third example. This example, you know it. I've already given that example. But look at the term. Once FedEx was launched 10 years, 20 years, the managers, they come to the secretary and they give a courier, they give a packet, parcel, or Nitish tells his assistant, okay, FedEx it. Okay, FedEx it. What does it mean? This parcel is not generic parcel. This has to go to the HO tomorrow morning, overnight delivery, FedEx it. FedEx equal to overnight delivery, right? And I'll give a very common colloquial example, which Nitish would have faced, might be facing every day. Your boss comes and gives you 2 sheets of paper, right? And he says, okay, Nitish, go and Xerox this. Have you heard this statement?
Absolutely.
Get this Xeroxed or get it at Xerox, whatever. Nitish, Xerox is the name of a company. What is the activity? Photocopying.
Yes.
Over a period of time, you reach that stage, you become synonymous. Sachin equal to cricket, Ray Rahman is equal to music, overnight delivery equal to FedEx, and Xerox is equal to photocopying. That is the ultimate goal. I'll give, because we are India, I'll give one last example. India is known for software exports. India is known now software, everything. And Bangalore, where I stay, is the hub of it. There are IT companies all over India, but Bangalore is supposed to be the pioneer 3 decades, 4 decades. It reached a stage that in one of the conversation, if I'm right, Barack Obama mentions, oh, that is already Bangalore. The term is outsourced. IT or whatever, ITE is outsourced. They were using the term, okay, this outsourcing, let it be outsourced to India. That was the phrase. It became a single word. It is Bangalore. Bangalore equal to outsourced. That's the third stage. Wanting to own in the perception mapping, very carefully chosen English word. I'm not getting into the regional languages. That's a very elaborate subject. Let's not go into it. I want to become an ultimate brand as a chosen English word by that activity. A. Rahman means music composing. The activity is music composing. So I attribute, he becomes that synonymous. A. Rahman equals music, Bangalore equals outsourcing, and Xerox equals photocopying. You become that word. Photocopying Xerox, that's all. So I say, okay, Nitish, Xerox this. Xerox is the name of a company. Mentor card. So tomorrow, mentor card equal to mentoring. I think that's where you're progressing. These are the 3 stages. To sum it up again, first you identify who you are, what you serve, how differentially you serve. There is a perceived value. This is the positioning mapping. And how do you do it in the perception mapping? You say explicitly certain things so that they get the perceived value in a statement. The second step is you've garnered a market share, wallet share. Reasonably, I'm good. Now I refine it. I don't need an elaborative statement, 4 lines or 10 lines. I want a logo, a music symbol, and a slogan or tagline you call, so that they connect immediately. Second stage. Third stage, I want to be identified that verbal action. That's the ultimate goal. Ultimate goal is becoming that activity. I am that. A. Rahman equal to music. The third stage consumes consistent delivery over a period of time. So branding is about owning the perception mapping. When they are saying, if Nitish is a film producer, he wants music as part of a film production. He closes his eyes and thinks music for my film. Hey Rama, whether you can afford, you can't. I'm not getting into all that. If I am deciding a movie, A. Rahman is my music composer. You're not considering A. Rahman for acting. Let's be clear. Perception mapping is very clear. It is bound by consistent performance. You're not. A. Rahman is also acting. That is different. But when you're signing a movie, you would rather bank on his music capability than his acting. Not that he's not a good actor, but I know him as a genius in music. I want his music. In perception mapping, that particular word, helping them to categorize, choose your product while they are purchasing. I'm going to choose A. Rahman for my film as a music composer. This is what happens in perception mapping. That has been deliberately created, scientifically created, and it's possible to create. I stop there. Shoot your questions.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And I think this is a very, very interesting thing to look into, that how, unknowingly, I can say that, usually we use these terms in very general. Like whenever we go for a photocopy, we never use to photocopy, we use it as Xerox, obviously. So this is how, the brands have been positioned themselves, and that is how they have created a kind of impact among the life of the consumers. And especially now, I think you have elaborated all the aspects of startup positioning in terms of how customers perceive brands. What kind of mind mapping, I can say it is a kind of mind mapping which is happening to the minds of the consumers. And brands are doing it. Obviously, they are doing it scientifically with the strategy, just like brands like Nike, they are doing it. And other big brands, all the startups which are coming up in the market, they are doing this thing. And this is how the notion has been created in terms of the positioning. So now,
Correct.
as far as the consumers are concerned, when we talk about the consumers, so all around the globe, there are different geographical locations, and because of that geographic differences, consumer behavior also changes. There are people in India, they have a different consumer behavior, and the people in the USA, they have a different consumer behavior. So now my question to you is that, as far as the Indian consumer behavior is concerned, so as far as your experience, what do you believe that the startups, how the startup people should perceive the consumer behavior? What is the general notion that goes into the consumer behavior of Indian people, so that startups can focus on that? Like, what is it the which is present in India as far as the Indian consumer is concerned? So how Indian consumer behaves, and how startup people, the startup founders, they can leverage, they can understand their behavior, and based on that, they can position their product, or based on that, they can build their brand. So, how do you think that goes into the market?
Okay. It is a circumvented route when you said when you position. See the statement that you made. I'm a startup. That's a generic statement. You go one step forward. Okay, you are a startup offering what? That will be my question. Nitish has got a startup. I'm asking, okay, Nitish, you're a startup owner. I understood. What are you offering? Let's take two products for our understanding. You are a startup offering SaaS product, SaaS product. Comes under IT, software, whatever. You are offering that as a product. I am offering, agarbattis, right? The agarbatti,
Yes, yes.
right? Incense sticks. I'm both are startups. You decided to be on the IT side, software side. I've decided to be on the non-IT consumer product, which is agarbatti. I'm calling agarbatti. It is actually incense perfume sticks. Let's use that term. Now, the choice of the product will determine how do you position your product. You like it, you don't like it. By design of it, it's global. You might add cultural elements to it. So if you say, no, sir, I am a SaaS product offering it from Delhi or Bangalore or Chennai, and I'm offering it to people of India. Okay, that's very clear. Let's move to the next step. Who's going to buy? Consumers. Who's this consumer? The companies or business owners or SMEs who are capable of using this, because this is a SaaS product and it is online. For 1 minute, let's think it's cloud driven. Cloud driven online, www.com, subscription, target password. You just go inside, use my service, SaaS. Great. Cloud based SaaS product. But Nitish, the moment you say cloud based SaaS product, www.com, 70% of India is knocked off. You like it, you don't like it. I'm dissecting this. Who's going to use SaaS product? I'm a departmental store in Ludhiana. I may not require yours. So I'm not in that very specific category. But a small IT firm or a manufacturing firm which has already got a ERP, now they might want to switch over. This market, that's what I'm trying to say. The moment you define your product or your service, that determines the market. Not by you calling I'm a startup based out of, you might be a rural startup. Let's assume you have got your startup in rural part of Delhi or Karnataka. So the assumption, if it's rural, then it has to be a rural product. No. You're an IT company. Whether you do it in Chennai or Gurgaon, it doesn't matter. Your product is global. Whether you like it, you've chosen that. Okay? Your product determines your market. And the guy who's going to buy your product, that consumer, he or she should be a project manager. I'm defining the persona, buying persona. He is a Nitish who's done his BE computer science, working in this company, which is a small or medium company, which is running its own accounting and ERP software. They require it because the ERP is running every year 1 crore, 50 lakhs, maintenance, this and that. Now I can go, you take this SaaS product, I can go cloud. I just pay 10,000 rupees per month on a subscription basis. Now you're talking about a corporate crowd which can afford this. I'm an agriculturist in Ludhiana. In what way your product is relevant to me? You're getting my point?
Yes, absolutely.
The first step is very generic. I am a startup. The next step is you are a startup for whom? You are a SaaS product. By design, it's global. Now let's talk about competition. Whom are you compared with? You're going to go to corporates, mid-level, small-level corporates, big-level corporates who knows what is a SaaS product, who's used a ERP, who's used a software system, how much of small it is, how much of big it is. He has to be exposed to this. Now I can't go and say ABC of SaaS. I have to talk to a guy who knows what is SaaS. That crowd is 30%. That crowd is not 100% of India. 100 billion, 100 crore people don't use that. Now, for argument's sake, you can say, oh no, everybody uses mobile phone. No. SaaS is not for everybody. You understand? The product determines the market. And when you're compared, you might be compared with the other SaaS offering in the market, and automatically there might be a multinational company which is offering what you are offering. I stop here. Now I'll take the agarbatti example. By design of the product, agarbatti is consumeric household, or it is in temples. These are the two places you will see. There's a negative place, I don't want to use it, but I'm just saying as of now, who uses agarbatti? Families will use for bhakti at their home, near the puja room, wherever, or temples might use it. But can it be a product across India? Of course, there are thousands and thousands of temples all over India. Whole of India is my market. That's the difference between you and me. Whole of India is not your market. I'm a crorepati agriculturist. I have 100 acres of land. I'll ask you, Nitish, in what way this is relevant? Provided I run that agricultural this thing as a company with 100 employees, I have a brand, I have ERP, then you're talking to a corporate, whether it's agriculture. I'm not a corporate. I'm an individual agriculturist. I'm rich. I have the latest Mercedes Benz. But what is SaaS? In what way it's relevant to me? But the same agriculturist, If I go, can I sell agarbatti to him? Of course, he's got either he goes to temple or wherever the common areas. I'm not getting to religion here. I'm just saying it's a consumer good anybody can use. Whole of India is my market. That is the first difference you will get. Who will differentiate? Your product will dissect you. You like it, you don't like it. The second aspect of it, in your product, you're already global. So you have to give me, in HR, there's a concept called hygiene factor. Now, what is hygiene factor? Nitish is working in a company. They give you good salary, incentives, mobile phone reimbursement, car, petrol they're giving everything. But it is in the offer letter. You're going to that organization. The toilet is not clean. Or for 100 employees, there is only 2 toilets. What is the first thought that comes to your mind? No. Salary is good. Reimbursement is good. They've got a website. They've got brands. They've been in business for last 20 years. No. It's all fine. This is basic. Yeah, they should have at least 100 employees, some 10 toilets. No, you understand what I'm trying to say? They have to have it. By now, if you're claiming you are 10 years legacy and you're doing so much turnover, 100 employees, don't you think you should have 10 toilets? I shouldn't be even prescribing it. That's called hygiene factor. You got to have it. If you don't have it, don't claim. You're a company with 100 employees, you should have this, no? Or they say 9 to 6 only you can use computer. Or power will be on only 9 to 6. What you will say? What? Come on, you don't have a generator? Generator is a hygiene factor. Will you work in a company which doesn't have a generator? Your answer would be no. They should have a generator. No, India is full of power cuts. They should have a generator. And if you are in Chennai, you're not in Delhi. You're in Chennai. Chennai is always hot, hotter, hottest. You can't survive. You'll die. No. They should have air condition in Chennai. Correct.
Exactly.
Hygiene factor. If you don't have hygiene factor in your value proposition, and you compared with, let's assume Infosys have got a SaaS product, they'll compare you with Infosys. No, such a big in market, there is nothing called big company, small company. You're out in the market, you're out for competition. So your product will have to have global attributes. Your product will have to have hygiene factor. Then how do I position my product? Now comes, you have to have these two things, because you're going to compare another SaaS product which is from America, which is present in Chennai. You are a Chennai-based company. There is a Chennai branch of that American company. You think of any company, whatever company comes to you, Oracle, whatever comes to you, Microsoft, it is there in Chennai. So that product is going to compete with you. Global attributes. The second is hygiene factor. Oh my God, you don't even have this. You don't have a toilet. You don't have a generator backup. Hygiene factor. Expected. No, I'm a small company. You're already up for bigger competition by the choice of the product. Third element, how do I differentiate? I have these two things. I cannot beat Oracle. Okay. What do I do? Now comes the cultural aspect of it. Okay. The guy might be an IT guy, but he still prefers something, a Hindi translation or a Hindi voiceover. Now, I speak good English. It's okay to have a voice translation which tells me in Hindi or Gujarati. Now, Oracle might have, might not have this. Now, this is a cultural connotation. It's a global product. Okay, I also have this. Hygiene factor, I also have this. How are you different from Oracle? Boss, we are sitting in Ludhiana. I have a Punjabi dialect voiceover for you to help you. That sells better. It's always not price. Of course, Indian market is a very sensitive, value sensitive, price sensitive market, but still this cultural aspect of it. Because how much of us said, somebody tells, an Amir Khan comes and tells in Hindi or Bhojpuri or Haryanvi, it appeals to me, right? Why? I might be that general manager sitting in Ludhiana office. At heart, I am Nitish. I'm not sitting in Milwaukee, or Chicago. I'm sitting in Ludhiana, right? I am a Punjabi sitting in Ludhiana. It is there in my culture, in my blood. So that is how you position yourself in the globalized product like SaaS. Let's come to agarbatti. There are enough or more agarbattis. What is the cultural aspect that you will do? Okay, I'll give an idea. It's an idea. You can always debate it. I'll get Amitabh Bachchan if I have budget. And I will say this is meant only for women for a particular aspect. You can take Holi, any particular event. I attach with that and I bring Amitabh to promote it and say this is for there's something called Karwa Chauth or something. No, you have a particular event. If you do this, you will get this kind of a promotion. That again appeals. It is an incense stick or agarbatti, but it is meant for women on this occasion. It appeals to me culture-wise. It definitely appeals to me. Okay, again, I stopped there. Do you want to shoot any questions? Was it clear enough? Did I
Yes,
answer your
absolutely.
query? Yeah.
I think that is pretty clear, and this is very interesting because the positioning that you are doing, and it is not just in terms of it should be very relevant to the consumer that you are targeting. If it is not relevant for that particular consumer, then definitely there is no market. Like you can't just sell anything to anybody. It should be specific and it should be relevant to the consumer. If it is not relevant to the consumer, then definitely you will fail. Ultimately people are not going to buy it because people have so many different options. And at the same time, if you are a very small startup and you are looking into a big corporate, and if you are saying that there's a big corporate and how am I going to compete it, but still I believe, as you mentioned, that if you are differentiating yourself, if you're creating that USP for yourself and you're positioning that thing into the market, then definitely you're creating your own niche, and that is how you will also survive in the market, because the market is big. If you can differentiate yourself with that unique selling proposition, then definitely there is a market for you as well.
I'll give an
There will
example.
be big corporates.
I will add, okay, how do you bring this positioning in terms of perception mapping? I'll give one example. Fortunately, unfortunately, I got stuck in Gujarat for whatever reason, personal reason. I couldn't come out because all this corona last year I'm talking about. We were quarantined and we couldn't go out of a particular house. There was one brand. Everybody was talking about retail and all that. There was one brand which is actually from this guy is from I am Ahmedabad. Husband and wife. They launched this. What they do is they actually purchase from market. People couldn't get out of their houses, so they invested on a whatever all that quarantined and whatever all that hygiene factor vehicle. Who got vaccinated? Vaccinated vehicle, vaccinated this thing. The highlight was 1 day delivery at your home through a vaccinated resources, which includes lorry, which includes manpower. Throughout my 6 months stay there, I bought it from them. It's a small company. They openly said, we are not Reliance. We are actually buying it from this market. I was in Ahmedabad. So I know where they're buying it also. They are buying it from a bigger superstore. But I couldn't get out of my house. I can't go out. It's so scary. So much was happening in terms of death and all that. So this company invested in a lorry, vaccinated. They did all the hygiene aspect. They got certified. They did everything. They invested on the lorry and the resources, not on the products. I know in which market they're buying. They are charging 2 rupees extra. They were telling all ethical. I was happy to pay them. Throughout my 6 months, I bought it from them only. I think the guy's name was Rajat, Mr. Rajat. I am Ahmedabad graduate. Online and WhatsApp. You place the order today, tomorrow afternoon it is delivered. Most hygienic manner, I will pick it up. So convenience and hygienic delivery. Order of the day, I want it. Because I can't get out, right? Opposite house, next house, everybody is quarantined. So you're so scared to get out of the house. But I need to eat, right? They launched a brand, quite successful in Ahmedabad. So I'm saying, so they are not Reliance. It's a small company. Husband and wife operated. Quite successful, I say. Quite successful. It's definitely possible being a startup. The third aspect of it, in a SaaS or whatever, what is the pressing problem they have? And I can be the solution provider. And when I provide that solution, this is where it becomes a brand. The perceived value, not the value, the perceived value. Let's assume you're a BPO company, right? And if you are providing a solution, I come to your .com, nitish.com, you pick up the call less than 10 seconds. I'm calling you and you are serving HDFC Bank, you're serving, I have HDFC Bank card, I have a query, I'm calling Nitish, whatever, www.nitish.com. You are picking the call within the 10 seconds. First part. Second part, you are not asking me to press 1, press 2, press 3, press 4. इसके लिए उसको दबाओ, उसके लिए इसके दबाओ. That's irritating. With the music on, I'm already a irritated customer. I haven't received my this thing statement, but you've already taken money from my account. So I'm irritated. I want to talk to you. I can't talk to HDFC Bank directly. I'm talking to you. I want Nitish.com to pick my call within 10 seconds with no further irritation. Press 1 for this, press 2 for this. And Nitish actually solves the problem. I will tell you the problem of people who are calling call center. They know the solution will come after 3 days. It cannot happen tomorrow because you are a call center. You will have to escalate with the HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank will do it after 2 days. I know that. So what do I want from Nitish? Nitish, I'm already an irritated customer. Don't irritate me further. Pick the call. It's an emotional thing. Second, make it smooth and transient. Don't ask me to press 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. I'm already irritated. And don't put me on a music for another, hold on. And then another 10 minutes I wait. The whole transaction, I'm talking about immersive experience. I don't just imagine, no, you're calling a call center, they pick the call and say, hello, Nitish, in 10 seconds. Problem 1 solved. Problem 2, they're not asking me to press 1, 2, 3 and all. Straight away, that call center guy is asking, okay, Nitish, what is your problem? My problem, I've not received my statement and they have already taken money from my account. I want to register this. Okay, complaint is registered. This is your complaint number. Within 2 days, we'll solve it and we will ensure that your money is credited back. That's what I want. 1, 2, 3. Imagine a call center is doing this. The whole experience, the brand touch points, smooth, problem solving. I had an immersive experience, beautiful experience. I will go and promote your brand. What did they do? It's a call center. So you just call a 0800 number. I have to have an office, 0800 number, T terminal with phone connections and call center employee. But what is the basic offering? Remove the obstacles for an aggrieved customer to reach out to the call center guy. Problem 1. Problem 2, don't irritate him further. Make it easier, less cumbersome, immersive. 3, actually solve the problem. Don't fake it. Oh, this query according to us is section A, section 2, 3, and this has to be escalated to the vice president of HDFC Bank. That will take 24. Can you solve the problem? Yes, it's solved. 1, 2, 3 solved. This is the best call center experience I've had. Immersive experience. The whole process was so smooth, so immersive. I go and tell, if further you want any inquiry, please call this number. Whether you're HDFC Bank or Axis Bank, call this call center. They will help you. It is still possible. These are the surround elements of the branding part. You do it, what you have done? You just removed the current irritation in a call center process. Attend to the call within 5 seconds when he called. Don't ask him to press 1, 2, 3, then one recorded voice. All this is irritating. I'm already an irritated customer. Speak to him. There is a human voice there. Oh, there is somebody there. Second, he's listening to me carefully and say, this problem, okay, we will solve this way. He's making an attempt to solve and he's actually solved. Let's assume within 2 days, I receive a mail stating from Nitish, your problem A23 is solved. Your money is credited back into your account. Immersive experience. Wow. It's going to take the same 2 days, but it's immersive experience. You can create brand and positioning like this also. It's a very conventional. Call center is not a new business, new idea. But the immersive experience, removing the obstacles and headaches, you can create a brand out of it. It's possible. You need not be a 5,000 crore company. You might not even do 50 lakhs per year, or you're doing 5 lakhs per month. You can still create it. I stop there. So shoot your query. You understood if you have understood.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And this is a one thing that I'm observing right now, that, when there's a startup which is coming into play, and then they're understanding the problem of people, whatever the problem people are facing. As you give an example of that from Gujarat, that they have sanitized the vehicle, and at that point of time, people are facing coronavirus problem, and then people are unable to go out and buy stuffs for their home. At that point of time, the people, they realize this problem, that this is actually a genuine problem people are facing. And then what they did, they tried to solve the problem, and they sanitized the vehicle, they got certified, and they actually solved that problem.
Correct.
And while they solved that problem, that revenue, that selling, everything came as byproduct.
Correct.
Similarly, the companies that we are also seeing, like right now, whenever a company is solving a problem, then the price factor doesn't come into play. Like when they're genuinely solving a problem, then automatically people are inclined towards buying that particular product. So that is how we believe that if the startups are doing this thing, that they're identifying the problem. First of all, they're identifying the problem, and then they're finding the solution, and then they're making it seamless for the consumer, very smooth experience for the consumer. They're solving this problem in a very smooth manner, and then that is how I believe that the people are growing. That is what I've got from your session, that to make
Correct.
it more smooth, right? When
Correct.
it is very
Correct.
seamless, they don't get irritated, they don't have any problem. In one go, whatever the problem they're having, they're just getting the solution. That's it. It is smooth, and the problem they're facing, the startup is able to solve that problem. And that is how people will be moving towards that. I think this
Precisely.
is
Here I want to add. So you don't have to be a startup. Oh, I have to come with the next iPod, iPad, most innovative. That's one route. I am saying India has got zillions of, not billions, zillions of problems. I don't mind. I'll give a classic example. It happened in Chennai. This came as an article. This is 2 decades back. There is a US consulate. People stand there to get their visa. Chennai is hot sun, and you have to stand in the bearing sun. There is no shelter or cover for safety reason. So you see a queue of minimum every day. I'm talking minimum. This is 2 decades back. I hope they have resolved it. 2 decades back, when I was a student and things like that, I used to see in a particular place in Mount Road in Chennai, minimum 250 people standing with their umbrella, uh, hot sun, waiting for their visa interview. Minimum 200. So there was one illiterate guy, normal guy. He saw everybody standing. You can't leave the queue because you don't know when your next call is going to come. So this guy, what he did, he stood there, started. It became an article. I'm talking the truth. He's not a big time entrepreneur. So what he did was the opposite. There is a retail shop, big retail shop, right opposite this consulate. So he went and bought the small 2 rupee bottle, small ones. You know that, right? 2 rupees. I don't know if it's still available or it might be 5 rupees now. I'm talking about 2 decades back. So he bought those bottles of water because hot sun, you're thirsty. He had a small cycle with a small refrigeration unit. You know, this ice box, basically ice box. He placed 100 bottles in that, kept the cycle stand right next to these people standing. And in a plate, he will go and deliver to guys standing. 2 rupee bottle, he sold at 4 rupees. We're not a very innovative, no, not an innovative idea. People are dying out of thirst. Hot sun in Chennai. Nobody asked 4 rupees. Everybody knew it is 2 rupees. Everybody knew he's buying it from the opposite shop. There's no faking. But you can't go, no, you're in the queue.
exactly.
So he cleaned it properly, kept it in an ice box. When he delivered, it was chill, soothing. I don't mind paying another 2 rupees. It's okay. 4 rupees is nothing. It's creative ways. He saw a problem. He gave a solution. And by and
Absolutely.
large, I believe in this. You need iPods, you need iPads, innovative products. I always support it. We are using the most innovative product called the mobile phone. We both are conversing now. You need that. But I'm saying country like India has got zillions of problems. Just be a solution provider. Thousands and thousands of startups can be there. And in the process, how creatively you can deliver that differentiates you. If I were to run a call center, somebody asked me, call center business is gone. People, it's all from the US. It's no more a lucrative business. I said, why do you think call center is equal to America? Call center is for India. I am facing every day. I have to call a call center for my HDFC credit card, for my other whatever. There is a greater market in India for call center than even US. Leave alone, okay, you are paid in dollars and all that. I'm not getting into that. There is BPO business is very conventional, very old. Boss, have you gone to a BPO, called that 0800 number? The problem that I shared is genuine. Nitish, don't tell me you have not faced it. You also faced it, right? 1, 2, 3, isko wo daba, iske ye. Are you not irritated?
Every time.
So why not somebody launch that product? Why should it be the next iPod? It's okay if you are capable. You are Steve Jobs. Go ahead and launch another iPod, iPad. If you are not, India has got enough and more problems. If a guy can deliver a 2 rupee water bottle, 4 rupees, and he was not becoming Ambani. His goal was not become Ambani. He wouldn't have made even 1 crore. That's not the goal. The goal is he served it differently. I like the approach. That's all. There are thousands of problems to be solved. Whether it's conventional business or the next innovative business, it is for them. It's not for you. It's for them. Can you create an immersive experience? Beautiful experience, which I cannot forget. I'll ask one question to substantiate. You're from Delhi or you're from, basically, where are you from?
West Bengal.
West Bengal. Obviously, you're a foodie. You must be a
Definitely,
foodie.
for sure.
So, do you still recall a particular small shop? It is not a great big shop, but great shop in terms of delivery taste.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a Rasagulla, I don't know, whatever that it is. You have been consuming it daily for almost 10 years. While you were a student, without fail, every week I used to go, or every month I used to go. Do you have shops like that? You all
Yes,
have.
yes, I do have. Yes.
So if you still go back today, when you take a break, and do you still want to at least visit and have one a plate of Rasagulla again? You would want to.
Yes.
The reason is not because it's cheap. The reason is the immersive experience. The experience that there is no money to it. We all talk about the immersive. Why don't you still forget school? You may not be the school topper, but you have vivid memories. No, it's collect immersive experience. I can't forget it. It's a plain 5 rupees Rasagulla. It's not the money. It's the experience of enjoying that.
Yes.
So there is a nostalgic effect. There is an immersive experience. So brands can come out of that also. Brands need not be 100 crore budget, Shah Rukh Khan television. No, you can do that also if you have money. If I'm a startup, I don't have. You can come. In fact, the biggest benefit of being a startup is you can challenge the status quo of an oracle. If you can create an immersive experience, the David and Goliath, I can challenge the biggest of the biggest company. I don't have to be a 100 crore company. I'll still challenge you. Brands have been built like that also. You agree with me, right? What I'm saying.
Yes, true.
So I stop there. Any further question?
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is very, very interesting that, one thing that you also pointed out this thing that, that experience. I think it is also important in terms of when it comes to building a startup, when it comes to building a product. I think this is also very important thing to look into that how much good experience you are able to provide to your consumer. Like how good experience I am having. Like people say this thing that whenever you are having a conversation with a person, the person doesn't remember what you said, but the person always remembers that how you made them feel. So this is one such thing that people always say. And I believe that as a startup owner, as a startup founder, if you're building your startup, if you're creating that product, and then you're giving that experience to your consumer, if your consumer is facing that experience, then definitely he or she will become your loyal consumer. And every time, whenever that particular product is coming into the mind of that consumer will only and only go to you to purchase that product. It is not just because your product is cheap or your product is very in quality and good, but it's about the experience that your product or you are able to provide to that consumer. So it is that experience also that makes you different in your market. So I think this is a very interesting thing that I've got from you. And definitely, Mr. Balaji, it was a very long and very deep conversation in terms of startup product positioning. And I'm sure that the insights that you have shared, it is definitely going to help a lot of startups to understand that how important it is that whenever they're positioning their product, they should definitely keep all these things in their mind in terms of making it an efficient product and in terms of growth. So that is it. And I believe that we'll be sharing this recording with all the people to help them understand that how Mr. Balaji can understand, help them in terms of their startup growth. And thank you so much, Mr. Balaji. This is a pretty long and very good conversation, a very deep, insightful thoughts we have heard from you. And obviously, all these thoughts are coming from your years of experience that you have experienced. You have seen the startups, you have seen people, and you have been adding value to the life of people. So thank you so much, Mr. Balaji, for sharing all the insights that you have given to us. And yes, I'd like to tell all the people who will be watching this video that if you are building your startup and you're positioning your product, and if you're facing issues in your startup, then definitely you can always reach out to MentorCat and we will connect you with Mr. Balaji for a one-on-one call. You can have a one-on-one call, one-on-one discussion with Mr. Balaji in terms of the problem you're facing. He will help you for a one-on-one basis in terms of the growth of your startup, in terms of the problems you're facing. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for staying with us. And thank you so much, Mr. Balaji, for
Thank
sharing
you.
your
Thank you,
insights.
Nitish. It was a good opportunity to share, and I hope it was helpful. I hope it was helpful.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thanks a
much,
lot.
Mr. Balaji. It's a great conversation, and in future we'll be looking forward to more such conversation with you to enlighten the minds of the mentees at MentorCat. Thank you so much, Mr.
I'm
Balaji.
always there, one call away. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Bye, Mr. Balaji.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This is Nitish Topo officially signing off. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.